Hi, just a fast into the close and market update. I will be doing one in pictures on Naked Delta stopwatch later today, but let's just do a quick video update. So we've gone from a balanced buy in the close in the SPY. We see in the SPX it travelled through on Friday and it's opened up and it's been very strong. If we wanted to just have a look at where that came from, we'll just check here the other proxies of SPY. Again, bought into the close very strong. That's going to open up tomorrow, I would have thought. We're not going to have much pullback during the day. If you see a dip in the futures and you missed the long yesterday like I did, I procrastinated when it was up 0.5 and it closed up 1.55. Here we go. We've got even the SPXL closed very strong. If I look at the ES, we can see the ES did have a dip for the day. Here, but we could see it coming through. We can see here in the SPX futures as a group that it wasn't necessarily being traded here in the ES, but it was being traded within the group. Suggests to me it was being traded in Europe, in the CFDN exchanges, and so we can see it here that it's moved up and given this a sell, quite a solid sell at 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning. It was another good opportunity to buy. Again, I missed that other good opportunity. Let's just have a look at the mags. The mags, Nvidia, it did have a buy into the close, only just. Amazon, very strong, a big buy into the close. That probably should be brighter than that. It's had a strong day. 2.5 in Amazon is a big move for the day. Here, Google looked very heavy. It's already up for the day. I'm expecting a top. If we just had a look at Google quickly, I'm expecting a top in the might blow straight through it, but my target was somewhere in the order of I think it was 230. Oh, my line has disappeared there. My extension was 239. Or sorry, 339. Let's just do the extension. The extension came off the bottom of 23. That's my simple one. Oh, but out there a little bit higher, which is good. We want a couple more days of this before it gets a pullback. It's always a bit jittery going out of markets like that. It's a big day, but that's the sort of target I've got, 342. And unless something replaces it, we might have a bit of a stale market after that. If we just have a quick look through, the mags was very strong. We can see in the other mags, we see here that Apple had a good buying day and was bought into the close. That's bullish for tomorrow. Only a little bit of a buy after a little bit of selling into the close. You can see it did drag through. It was less hidden. I think that Tesla was more of a short squeeze. Microsoft, very boring. You know, this is obviously quite a hard sell going on in the middle of the day, which has really dragged it through when nothing's happened in it. It's definitely the loser at the moment in the AI battle. Here we go. We've had a good day in Meta. It had a less difficult day, but it did have some hedging coming on, so there's a little bit of a short squeeze there. Those mags we've had a look at, we can just see how strong they are as a group into the close. The Tesla was the one that we didn't really look at. Tesla quickly, it's had a much better day. I would have thought that today has been a buying day and a reasonably strong buy into the close. So I'm going to just update that to a buying day. I don't know if I'd say it's bullish, but I think it is just because the market's bullish at the moment. I would have thought that Tesla has been a short squeeze today. If we just go and have a look at Tesla, quickly there, this is the VIX. The VIX we can see had a lot of new positions opening out of the money in the puts, which is very bullish. And then let's just have a look what was in Tesla. Tesla here, if we just put a filter onto it to the 0.5, let's try that again. we can just see there's nothing there, and it's gone from a quite weak position to a strong position. So it was squeezed. I believe that shutdown was happening. But if we actually went back and had a look, we can see here in the puts that we've had this heavy period through until the 13th. On the 14th, it's basically closed. There has been a little bit of hedging that's gone to the 17th, but it's really close. This is probably delta hedging out wide. The majority of its hedging has come off, and at the same time, we've had a lot of buys opening here in the money calls, long dated. If I just took it back one day, it's probably more stark. If I look at Friday's details, I didn't do an analysis over the weekend on Tesla that would have showed that it was going to open up so hard. So if we just had a quick look at that, we can see how many of the calls have closed, how bullish that is, and how many puts have closed and hedging has closed through on Friday from the start of the week on the 14th and 17th. They were just shut at the 13th and 14th. We can see here that was the bottom, and since then it's just been building. We've had this very, very strong building, and that's given us this big squeeze that we can see absolutely annihilating all of the weeklies last week. In the SPX, we can see very similar situation, huge close, no new in the money puts opening on the short dated stocks. Let's just have a quick look at the ESs. Strong buy into the close in the proxies for the SPX. SPY as well, SPXL as well, and the ES there has had a busy day. Did have a little bit of a sell-off coming in, but really it sold very strong. It bought very strongly into the close. We can see here that it's really back down and strong. The other things I noted was that gold had quite a strong, after just being middling, most of the hedging had come off. If we just had a quick look at GLD hedging was already starting to come off. So if I just pull this out as a week, you'll see that this hedging has slowly started to roll through, and it really came off here on about the 19th. If I just put this through to the 14th, the start of the week, that'll give us a little bit more clarity in some of that color. Let's lose yesterday. Today's data. If we have a look at Friday's data, you'll just see the strength of it moving through. We've got lots of buying here, and we've got lots of closing of calls, opening of calls. I would say that's very bullish. If we had a quick look at what was happening in the DPI in GLD, it's taking its time here. I do apologise. The DPI on Friday was very strong. It had a really good buy into it, and we can just see here that it's really moved across, not as strongly as we saw in Tesla. There still is some long-dated hedging carrying through from the 12th, but the 12th is really from this small top here. That'll be shut out quite quickly. I'm expecting it to at least come back up to in par with the 338 by the end of the week, 388, 390 by the end of the week. We had all bullish closes bought into the close, and here we've had a big buy in B, and we've had a big buy in the NEM, Newcrest Mining. AEM has had a big buy into the close. All of those are looking bullish for me. The one that I didn't check, we'll just really quickly go and have a look, is what happened in the miners. So the miners here had a huge day, and stupidly I missed the opportunity on that as well. Sleeping at the wheel this week. The WGMI didn't look as good as all of the individuals. The individuals were bullish, all of them, into the close on Friday, and they've opened up incredibly. Iron was up 17, Riot 9, even Mara was 11. Very good for Mara. Wolf was up 11% as well. Very big day for Wolf. You can see the very, very strong buying across the bottom of Wolf there into the close. Today's been bought into the close, and already it's looking up a little bit in the day. It's up 1.5%, almost over 2%. We're up 2% in after the close. Have a good day's trading. The markets are all bullish this week. There's no jitters in them going through. We might see some hedging on Thursday, which will definitely power the weekend with some extra charm as those weekend hedges burn off. Anyway, have a good week's trading. Thank you for watching my quick market report Monday, EOD, the 24th of November. Thank you.